Happy Pride, everyone. I figured now would be a good enough of a time as ever to talk about something like this. Also because I was burnt out a bit from last month. And I'm busy this month. Please check out my tournament. I will be live streaming on the 27th. Anyway, with that aside, I guess I'm bi. I think. It's the best descriptor I can give. All I know is that I can't claim to be completely straight. The reason why it's kind of been something I haven't talked about before is because this wasn't really something that I thought would count. To make a long story short, it really just is a less exaggerative version of one of those green text memes where it's just like, be me, straight, you already know the rest. You know, that kind of thing. I've just kind of been like looking at it from the excuse of it's just this with extra steps to make a long story short and without going into personal details about it all. But yeah, it really just is a case where it's like weird. Like, I don't even know how to talk about this without like actually like delving into more personal aspects of it all. Like, ooh, like I find this and that attractive. Like, I think for the sake of keeping it as simple as possible, but also as, I guess, publicly appropriate as possible. God forbid I get like too parasocial with everyone. But it really just comes down to, I find women attractive, and if a guy happens to, I guess, come across as feminine in a sense, that I also find that I don't really know, man. I was talking about it with some friends, and the closest thing we got to that feels a little more of an appropriate descriptor to me was something called gynosexual, which is something where it's like, oh, you're attracted to women, females, and or femininity with like literally 7 fucking footnotes. And while I do think that better describes me than just blatantly saying, oh yeah, I'm bi, my god, what an ugly ass flag. Holy shit. I don't know. It's really one of those things where it's, well, yeah, that probably better describes where I align myself with. It really just ends up being like so superfluous. Like the general consensus that I've gotten from a lot of people, and a mindset that I really just agree with in general, is this shit don't matter. None of this matters. Like, it really just doesn't. Like, I do know people who enjoy the labels they're able to give themselves, and you know, more power to you. It's nice to like have a word or a name to a thing that best describes you. That's how I felt when I first heard someone describe me as a skirmisher for the first time. That was really nice. But I think in cases like this, it's just like, I'm just attracted to whoever I find attraction to. I'm kind of realized I'm at the point where I'm like, I really don't care. I don't know, man. Talking about this shit is fucking weird because, like, it really should not matter, but for some people it does, and that's just, I don't know. I think the safest way to put it is like, if you're a woman, 9 times out of 10, I will probably find you attractive. If you are a guy, it's not as easy. I'll say that. This has led me into some interesting bullshit because, like, I just say I'm bi as a catch-all way of explaining, like, where I am myself. Like, I don't really feel like calling myself bi is the best descriptor for myself. It's just what I use for the sake of, like, getting across that I'm, like, not entirely straight, I guess. But just in general, I'm not crazy about the labels or whatever. I'm just saying I'm gay enough, I guess. I don't know. but it has put me into positions where like topic is brought up and a guy will like come to me, ask me if I find them attractive or I would take them on a date, and I would just have to be like, you're not my type. Like, obviously, I end up making like more of a joke about it because I don't want to be an asshole. But at the same time, wow, if that's like a fraction of what women have to go through, holy shit. It really does also come down to the idea of like, you know, what do you label as femininity or whatever? Because like, that kind of runs the risk of also coming off as like, why the fuck did I think talking about this was a good idea? I guess, I don't know, blame June or something. But like, you know, there were the wise words of the infallible man, Joseph Rothschild, aka MBT, who I remember hearing him once say, like, offhandedly, like, everyone kind of, whether they want to admit it or not, have some spectrum of bisexuality where they're either lean in one direction or another in, like, to different strengths or whatever. I think maybe it'd be better to call it more of, like, you know, like what one of those, like, XY axis graphs, you know, the political graphs or whatever. That might be a better way to put it, rather than just, like, a line of, like, one end or the other. Thank you, OBS, for shitting the bed. Really cool. But that's the problem, where it's like, graphing this shit out feels fucking weird, because how do you measure femininity? You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, you could be androgynous as fuck, and like, I'd probably still hit it. No, but like, for real, like, I don't even think it would be that big of a stretch to be like, even like that aspect is superfluous. Cause like, what if you have like, in my case at the very least, what if I have like the most beautiful, gorgeous person I've ever seen, and they have like he, him pronouns, like, but they still identify as a woman. Like, would that make me gay? I guess so. That's what I mean when I say, like, a lot of this shit, it just feels pointless. And I'm not saying there is no point. I got people who very proudly identify as, like, a lot of different things. I got a lot of people that I know that are aro ace. I know people who are demi. I know people who are just flat out gay. Like, men on men loving gay. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. I like women. Asterisk. It's so weird. Like, I like women, but I'm not straight. It's like, my ultimate conclusion to all of this is, I don't care who you are, what your baggage is, what your future is. If I find you attractive, I find you attractive. And if you're chill, then I'm chill. That's basically how it is. Yeah, kind of a shorter thing, because I really don't know what else I can talk about without, again, revealing too much. Suffice to say, if you are a woman or if you're a guy and you specifically look like this, my DMs are open. Please hit me up. This is not a bit. This is 100% genuine. I'm only slightly desperate. Okay, thanks, bye. Check out the tournament!